Live from Los Angeles, here's Everyway Woman.
Dialogue. Ladies, this is the 10th anniversary of 9/11, and I know it's impacted everyone quite a bit. Natasha, how has it impacted you?
Well, I joined the Navy because of 9/11, so October 31st, 2001 is when I took my oath. And I had felt so angry. One of the things that really made me, though, appreciate being in the United States is myself and Kristina Irwin. I went with Kristina Irwin just previously, the year before, to stay with her family in Yugoslavia. And I could see how lucky I was to be an American. I did not appreciate how wonderful it was to be an American until I started traveling to other countries. And when that happened, that hit me so much, so I joined the Navy.
And that was just, so I just admire you so much for that, because just to change your life 180 degrees to, something to affect you so deeply and to act on it. Yolanda?
For me, that sense of security, like now when you go to the airport, in the back of your head, you're wondering, is this my last flight? You're checking people out. You shouldn't be thinking about that. You're going on vacation, you're probably going to see your family and friends to have a good time, but that whole flight, you're thinking, please, Lord, let everything be okay, let me land. And I miss that. I miss that sense of security. But I do like the fact that I appreciate being being American and living in America and just loving our freedom. And I don't want that to change. And I think too many of us have let 9/11 take away some of our freedom. And we need to take it back. Let's open up the airports. Let's let families and friends say goodbye to their relatives and loved ones and tell other countries and terrorists that we are not afraid of you. We are Americans.
Absolutely. Charlotte, how do you?
Well, I mean, I love the way we all came together, and I totally agree with what you're saying about losing personal freedoms, and the traveling is really important because Americans are very isolated and they tend to not look outside their country, but you really get a different perspective when you travel and see other nations. But as much as we came together with respect to 9/11, I actually see us kind of coming apart with regards to all the mosque controversies. And that kind of is disheartening to see us. The prejudice that surfaced is what I see with regards to people not only protesting, but you see destruction, vandalism in Tennessee and Georgia and California, and the controversy in New York over the mosque.
That's racism, but there should not be a mosque at Ground Zero.
But personally, how in your
because
life
that's a trophy for them.
Did it affect you personally? How do you feel you're different today than you were on 9/10/2001?
Well, as I said, I like the fact that we all came together as a nation, and there was a lot of closeness and this and that.
But has it changed anything specifically for you?
I can't think of anything specific. I guess I didn't know anybody specifically who died, and I guess I look at it more from a philosophical perspective, and I'm able to kind of keep a little bit of a distance on it.
Right.
So, but I really have a lot of respect for people like Natasha who joined the Navy. I think that's really admirable.
I do too. Well, thank you. But we lost 3,000 people. Nobody has ever suffered an attack where they lost that many people. And that's one of the problems with people in this culture, in this country, is everybody's getting so passive, and they are forgetting how many people we lost and how horrific it was. There was people jumping out of buildings on fire. It was not, you see they didn't even show all the bodies landing and the horrific things that they did to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, I think it was the first eye-opening experience that I had where there's genuine evil. I think I was living in sort of the America fairy tale, and it was just like, oh my gosh, there are evil people that want to destroy us.
I think we still are sometimes living in the fairy tale where people blaming, presidents and other people are causing 9/11. No, terrorists caused 9/11.
Absolutely, they made the choice.
We need to step back from that and realize that 3,000 people did die, and there were other people affected. There are people that still have not been able to put their lives back together. There are children that do not know their parents. And we need to step back and think about that, because we have it so great in America.
Absolutely.
We don't realize that we can walk down our streets and not worry about grenades and tanks coming in.
Absolutely.
Women have freedom.
Absolutely. And those terrorists had a choice of whether to do what they did or not, whether to make changes in the world. If they disagreed, they didn't like, they could have gone about it a different way, but they made a choice.
And whatever they do, it doesn't matter. America's always going to be a beacon of light.
Absolutely, absolutely.
For the world.
Well, thank you, ladies. That was just, you know, it's such an emotional weekend, and, you know, it's nice to hear personal stories and all of that. So anyway, well, thank you, and I think it's fair to say that it affected everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope to see you back at Everyway Woman very soon.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Everyway Woman.
I'm Stacey Lewis with a back to basics secret. For school shopping, the good news is reuse. You should purchase a backpack of neutral color. Therefore, you could use it for a couple of years, or you could trade it with a family or friend. Also, one of the most hidden secrets is contact your district and find out which teachers in the districts are either leaving or retiring. Teachers have a lot of materials, pencils, crayons, and oftentimes they don't know what to do with them. Why can you benefit from that? The good news is reuse. That's another back to basics secret.
When it's time for lunch, a sandwich is a quick and easy choice. And with the right ingredients, it can be good and good for you. So I'm here today to see who can build the ultimate sandwich. All right, when the time is up, our judges will give you their scores. Ready, set, go! Okay, Jason starts out with a multi-grain roll. Ooh, Allison stuffing her pita with, yes, spinach, a great source of iron. Jason isn't skipping on the protein, adding plenty of smoked turkey, just like Allison's putting the finishing touches with crispy red bell peppers for a dose of vitamin A. Time! It looks like we have a tie. We'll need to call in our special guest referee.
Now these are what I call quick, delicious lunches. Whole grain breads, a whole variety of ingredients. There are so many different ways to build delicious, healthy sandwiches. These two get high marks in every category. I'd say you're both winners. America.
Let's get healthy together.
Here's Everyway Woman.
Thank you for joining us for Open Dialogue. Ladies, as you know, this is the 10th anniversary of 9/11, and Kristina, how has it affected you personally over the last 10 years?
Wow, in many different ways. I'm Serbian, so I was born in Belgrade, and as you know, with the whole Kosovo thing and the bombing and all the NATO stuff that was going on, it was against Muslim terrorists, the KLA. So Serbians have been fighting Muslims for about 600 years. So it's affected me personally because, you know, I moved from one homeland to America where I reside now, and it's like, wow, again. So it's attacking Americans. It just kind of hurts, you know, and it's like, it's just a little bit pissing me off because America's too PC. You know, it's like if we don't learn from our past, we're going to be doomed to repeat it. So it's kind of like, okay, well, you know, don't do racial profiling. Don't do this. I mean, this guy's wearing a turban. This guy's, you know, it's like, come on, enough already. I mean, it's like, how many more times does this have to happen? How many more people have to die until America wakes up and says, you know what? Look at Israel. I mean, they're doing things right because that's been happening for years.
So we should take around the world what works and learn from that and
stop
implement
being
it into...
so politically correct. I mean, you know, things have to give. Things have to give or people die. That's just how
I'm curious to know about your family. How, generally speaking, how did they manage over the last 10 years?
Well, I mean, luckily, I mean, my family's, a lot of them are in Serbia, but a lot of families here on the West Coast, so thankfully nobody was in the East Coast, but it's hard. I mean, it's hard, you know, it's like the same thing in Israel. You're walking down the street and, you know, it's not that bad, but it's to the point of people do, you know, do you find that your relatives do things a little bit differently just because they're a little more sensitive? Oh, absolutely. They do things differently. Things are different. I mean, you went with me to Serbia. Because in Serbia, so many of the Serbian churches we couldn't even go to. they were closed down.
Like in Kosovo, yeah.
Right.
So,
well, I want to hear from Jackie. How has it impacted your life over the last 10
well,
years?
personally for me, when it first happened, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in my sophomore year of college, and I was only 19 years old. So for me, it kind of was a loss of innocence, and it kind of was an eye-opener. Like nothing that big had ever happened in my lifetime, and I immediately referred to like history books and was just like, it was crazy and very surreal. So it kind of brought me to reality of what life was about. Like, this is the real world. There are wars, things happen, people die, and I never experienced anything like that.
Absolutely.
And then I knew people personally who had family in that tower. Thankfully, the person that was close to me, her mom wasn't there that day. But the thing is that just, I couldn't imagine.
Right.
Like,
and imagine like Yahoo's doing a tribute, like, you know, to all the kids that have lost their parents. It's just so chilling.
It's horrible.
Right.
It's horrible. And I just remember my campus being in chaos, kids crying, people wanting to go home, but they shut down the bridges, and I couldn't even, you know.
Well, I remember
I think it was just a tragedy.
It was
all
about
over the place.
5:30 in the morning, and my mom woke me up, and I just started crying.
I hate to cut you guys off, but it's you know, it's hit everybody so deeply in so many ways, and I think it's going to be many years before we all recover, if we ever do. But hopefully, like you said, we can learn from this, move forward, heal a little bit, and move on. So, thank you so much for joining us.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Everyway Woman.
I'm Stacey Lewis with another Back to Basics secret for school shopping. Moms and dads, make a list, take the list, and leave the kids at home for no extras. Also, contact your favorite discount stores and make sure that you're on their newsletters so that you can receive coupons. Also, buy in bulk. Therefore, you will have school material all year long. But most importantly, generic is good. It doesn't have to be the name brand. It can be just as well as generic. And finally, one of my favorite secrets is at the end of the school year, don't just dump the backpack. Open up the backpack and see if you have any leftover pencils and crayons. They never go bad. That's another Back to Basics secret with Stacey Lewis. Have a great school year.
Here's Everyway Woman.
Thank you for joining us for Women in the Media. Today, ladies, the hottest story, at least in my opinion, was Rihanna. She is at it again. Let me tell you, with that necklace that she was wearing. Did you all see that?
Yes, I did.
How do you feel about that, Natasha?
Well, she's young and crazy, so what else do you expect?
And I was going to say, and you know what it is? It's her image. A lot of people expect a lot from her, but her image is not that of a role model. She has, none of her songs are for kids. If you've heard them before, Rude Boy, S&M, none of her songs are for children.
So she's established that persona for herself.
Exactly.
And so it's her choice.
It's just publicity. I mean, that's what she's trying to do.
Exactly.
She does a lot of edgy things.
Yeah.
In Australia and on videos, all sorts of things.
The thing, though, is just with that is it is degrading, because that is degrading yourself. That's like wearing a T-shirt that says whore, because there was a designer came out with T-shirts that said whore and all that, and it is degrading. She's crazy, so you can't expect much more. But it's like you don't need to degrade yourself.
And a lot of people, I think, are seeing her that way. Some, you know, she's always going to have a fan base no matter what.
But I have to disagree about the degrading part. I really don't think, I think it's a word, and if that's a term that it's like people use the B word sometimes in an endearing way to their girlfriends, and it's not necessarily that you're calling them that in a low manner. Sure. She could be doing the same thing, and personally, and like
that's not her girlfriend's though. She's wearing a necklace.
It's a necklace, but I mean that's what she wants to sport. That's her image.
Trying to redefine the word. So many words have changed meaning over the years.
Well, that means what it's going to mean.
That very well could be.
To me, that's like where I would never wear a necklace that had the N word on it.
I mean,
well,
I
think that's personal choice.
I wouldn't wear it if it had ER on the end.
Well,
as long as it had an A on the end of it.
Well, switching gears a little bit, another woman that made it in the news this week is Condoleezza Rice, and there was some
beautiful and talented.
Yes,
and probably would never use that word.
Right. No, I imagine she would not. That's not her image at all.
And she's a good example because she had dictators all into her, and Gaddafi buying her Wonder Woman bracelets and everything else.
To bring up
lots of
being teary-eyed to me, which this came from Dick Cheney's book, is what I understand, and it's been brought up again. It's been brought up in the past, but I think it's sexist because you know there have been many political leaders who have cried or become teary-eyed. Even George Bush Sr., Jr., Bill Clinton, Obama, and yet we don't hear it in relation to
everybody should
I
be
think
allowed to
there really
show
is.
their human side and be, you know, respected
And that's
for
true,
that.
but she adamantly says that did not happen.
Yeah, I think
the
that
way
was,
he said it.
Yeah.
But my thing is that even if it did happen, that wasn't something that was in privacy, and it was, you know, like that's just really wrong.
You know, and you could even look at it that being teary-eyed could be a manipulation to get what you're looking to get.
That's
I mean,
true.
honestly, it
I
can
suppose,
persuade
but,
people.
you know, she was there, and so I think, you know, she said her opinion on it, and he's clearly written his opinion, and I guess we all have to kind of decide for
I'm
ourselves.
on her
but
side.
I certainly don't see it as any negative either
Weakness.
way.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And then finally, Serena Williams. Jackie, have you heard?
Yeah, I love Serena Williams. First of all, I just want to commend her on her win and her victory. So she's been doing so well since coming back from that foot injury.
Fabulous. Did you see her at the ESPY Awards? Oh my gosh,
so pretty.
It was just awesome. I wish I looked like that. Charlotte, have you been?
I've been watching tennis quite. I mean, I play tennis, and I play several times a week, so I like it anyway. But I've been watching a lot of tennis on the tennis channel, the sports channel.
Natasha, do you think she's been treated fairly?
No,
I
don't think she's been treated
that.
fairly. I don't, and I'm not trying to. I just think certain women do get treated differently, and I think she's one of those women. She is extremely accomplished. Everybody goes to the match to see her.
Yes.
Right. She's
And
the headline.
the way they're doing her is completely wrong. Having her late night and wrong.
For an injury that she had no control over.
Right. And I'm glad for her. You know, she's coming back.
Absolutely.
Well, she will always be around, and she's an icon, so they can't take that from her. Even
and
if
she's
they
going
try
to
put her
she's
on
going to
at
come
night.
back bigger and better.
Right.
No matter where they put her in the stands or schedule her match in the middle of the night.
Not only that, she's a fashion icon.
Absolutely.
And she's a woman who's proud of herself. She's proud of her athletic body.
Yes.
She's proud of her accomplishments. She doesn't have to wear a necklace that says something.
And she is a great role model for children, I believe.
Yes,
she really is.
She has earned that success, and she displays it very, very well and appropriately.
And she's got a very handsome, might be fiance coming.
Oh, yeah.
And there you go.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you, ladies. We could
too.
talk. There's so many women in the media every week, and we appreciate your comments. So thank you very much for joining us for another Women in the Media. Hope to see you back here soon. That's really good, you guys.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Every Way Woman.
When it's time for lunch, a sandwich is a quick and easy choice. And with the right ingredients, it can be good and good for you. So I'm here today to see who can build the ultimate sandwich. All right, when the time is up, our judges will give you their scores. Ready, set, go! Okay, Jason starts out with a multi-grain roll. Ooh, Allison stuffing her pita with, yes, spinach, a great source of iron. Jason isn't skipping on the protein, adding plenty of smoked turkey, just like Allison's putting the finishing touches with crispy red bell peppers for a dose of vitamin A. Time! It looks like we have a tie. We'll need to call in our special guest referee.
Now, these are what I call quick, delicious lunches. Whole grain breads, a whole variety of ingredients. There are so many different ways to build delicious, healthy sandwiches. These two get high marks in every category. I'd say you're both winners. America.
Let's get healthy together.
Here's Every Way Woman.
Hi, and welcome to Every Way Woman's official sports segment on the sidelines. And I am so excited because I've been waiting to do this for a long time. And as you can tell, I am wearing one of my greatest all-time heroes.
Well, I'm wearing...
if Jerry wasn't a man, he'd be the ultimate Every Way Woman.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm wearing the Eagles jersey because they're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Well, you know the 49ers are not going to win because they can't even decide on a coach.
No, they decided on a coach.
Yeah, every 2 years they have a new coach.
Well, but they decided on one.
Okay.
Okay.
Go
and
ahead.
You think Michael Vick is going to...
He's going to lead him to the Super Bowl, and I hope that Brett Favre come back and back him up.
I think that's a long shot there. And you don't think he'll go back to Green Bay and replace your favorite quarterback?
I hate crybaby Aaron Rodgers. He is the biggest freaking crybaby in the NFL.
Why?
Because Brett Favre didn't like
But he took him to the Super Bowl?
So? Because the media wanted them to win. So, of course, they was going to win.
Well, I think it's going to be a really interesting football season because you've got so many changes. So players
Well,
are
I
going
like the changes.
And I think Miami, too. Miami's definitely...
You're dreaming.
No, Jason Taylor.
You're
Excuse
dreaming.
me. Excuse me. He's gone back. Reggie Bush. Hello. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
my
just
God.
saying.
Reggie
I'm just
sucks.
saying.
Okay.
Well, they're going to walk all over the Jets. You just wait.
No, the Jet. If the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, it's going to be the Jets or the St. Louis Rams.
Nope.
That's who I'm putting in my heart. My team will always be the Arizona Cardinals, but it's going to be Vic or the Jets. I have no love for Brady. I mean, not Brady. Yeah, I don't have love for Brady, and I don't have any love for Aaron Rodgers. I like Brady more than
I
Aaron
realize
Rodgers.
that, but you have too many teams.
I hate
you
Aaron
need to
Rodgers.
pick one team and stick with it.
I'm just telling you who's going to be. It's either going to be
Thank you very much for
Why
joining
you
us with
interrupting
our
me?
very
I'm
first
telling you.
sports segment, and we can continue this, and we probably will for the rest of the day.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Every Way Woman. Here's Every Way Woman.
When it's time for lunch, a sandwich is a quick and easy choice. And with the right ingredients, it can be good and good for you. So I'm here today to see who can build the ultimate sandwich. All right, when the time is up, our judges will give you their scores. Ready, set, go! Okay, Jason starts out with a multi-grain roll. Ooh, Allison stuffing her pita with, yes, spinach, a great source of iron. Jason isn't skipping on the protein, adding plenty of smoked turkey, just like Allison's putting the finishing touches with crispy red bell peppers for a dose of vitamin A. Time! It looks like we have a tie. We'll need to call in our special guest referee.
Now, these are what I call quick, delicious lunches. Whole grain breads, a whole variety of ingredients. There are so many different ways to build delicious, healthy sandwiches. These two get high marks in every category. I'd say you're both winners. America.
Let's get healthy together.
And today for our InVogue Fashion Affairs segment, we have veteran makeup artist Ali Reza. He has worked for Bobbi Brown, Estee Lauder, Chanel, and the Miss Colorado pageant. Thank you so much for being with us, Ali
Thank you
Reza.
for having me.
So what trends are you going to show us today?
Well, I wanted to talk about the latest fashion for fall. We're leaving the summer, so we want to start with something fresh. And on Christine, we did bold lips. We're going to go for orange tones, reds. Don't be afraid of a lot of color for fall. On the eyes, it's all about shimmer. And again, don't be afraid of color. You could do orange shades.
Now, orange that's the pop in color right now.
Yes.
On
And
the runways.
On the runways. And this happens to be Makeup Forever. Orange eyeshadow.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm just going to pop a little bit here.
Now, for fall, as opposed to summer, I can wear more makeup in the fall, right?
That's correct.
I can pack it on.
Yes, that's right. And except for the cheeks. The cheeks, it's going to be a lighter shades on the cheeks.
Okay.
So, because we're doing heavier on the lips, heavier on the eyes, it's going to be lighter on the cheeks.
So, like she has a bold eye and a bold lip, so that's okay for fall?
That's okay as long as the cheeks are light shades.
Okay.
And on Jackie, we did a berry.
Now, for darker skin tones, should you have a color with more pigment in it, or how should I do? What color should darker skin tones stay away from?
Absolutely. You want to stay away from colors that are too light.
Okay, so like no pastels?
Correct.
Okay.
But again, for fall, it's going to be shimmer on the eyes, like we did here. I did a Serena Tarantino shimmer.
And I like this smoky eye because you gave her a smoky eye with blue. That's something a little different as opposed to just like a gray smoky eye. Or
Yes.
And with her skin tone, that blue really pops.
Oh, yes.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
And so we did berry on the lips.
Okay.
And also another trend for fall is a dewy, shimmery glow.
Okay.
So you could use a NARS illuminator. This can be used on eyes, lips, and cheeks.
Now, to get the dewy look, should I put that all over my face?
Yeah, you can. You can mix it with your foundation.
Okay. Now, should I do it like, should I use that as a highlighter to highlight certain areas, or should I just?
You know where I'm going to do it is right on the cheeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, to recap for fall, it's shimmer on the eyes, bold lips, light on the cheeks.
Okay. They look so gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. They're very glamorous.
They are. Now they're all snotty. Now also too, with skin prep, is a primer important? Should I?
Oh yes, especially in the fall, the skin, it's a drier climate, so you can try to find a hydrating primer, which will also help with a dewy look.
Okay, now with the primer, can I still wear my moisturizer, or should I just wear primer?
Oh no, you're gonna want to wear moisturizer with your primer. If you're more oily skin, you're gonna use a mattifying primer and a mattifying moisturizer.
Okay.
But again, for fall, it's all about dewy. It's all about shimmer on the eyes. So you're gonna want to find primers that are illuminizing.
Now, what about, because these ladies have beautiful cheekbones, but what if you want, you know, for like contouring a little bit? Now, can I do, like, how for her skin tone, if she wanted to do a little contouring, make the cheeks pop a little more?
You would apply your blush right below the apples of the cheeks.
So you got to make the funny face like
Yes, that's right. That's right. So, and that's where you would apply your blush, is right here. Right below the apple of the cheeks.
Now, how do you keep it from looking, you know, that 1980s with the rectangle? Is that back in style?
Well, no, because again for fall, it's all about light on the cheeks.
Okay.
But it is the sculpted look, like you mentioned, below the apple of the cheeks.
Now, what if I just got to get up and go, but I still want to look good? So what's the most important thing for fall that I should have?
The most important thing I would have to say is bold lips.
Okay.
And a little bit of shimmer on the eyes.
Now, if you have thin lips, can you just draw them? You can still wear a bold lip?
Yes.
Even if they're thin?
Oh, yes. In fact, bold lips will enhance, bold colors will enhance your lips.
Okay.
So, and again, so just recap.
Bold lips.
Bold lips.
Bold eyes.
Bold eyes, shimmery, and light, soft pink, innocent colors for the cheeks.
Okay, and for darker skin tones to stay away from the more
pastel. Correct.
And if you're older, can you still wear a lot of shimmer, or will it get all up in the wrinkles?
No, for fall, everybody wears shimmer.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Alireza. Please come back.
Thanks for having me.
I am Natasha Johnson with Everyway Woman. Thank you for watching, and please watch us again.
This has been an Everyway Woman production.